Tape marker, the menu review, guys. Get right to it. Action. There's times where an artist has to give out his expressions through his arts, right? The emotional expression here, film, art, canvas, music. But in this particular case, guys, the menu itself is actually a 5-course meal, I believe, and a dessert. And by God, this film actually put its own art in an art influence way that just felt so relatable in so many different aspects, so many different ways, so much of a personal agenda here that I felt like that was just put out so well in this film. I mean, this is our review, guys, of The Menu, and man, this film was effing fantastic. I love this movie. It's so hard to nitpick, and this movie comes out to be an hour and 47 minutes. It's so rare for me to be like, yeah, I couldn't take anything out of it. I really could. It's probably been a rare this year because I'm just like, oh, I could take in this out. But for me right now, I don't know what to take out of this movie. I got the expression of like, this film was amazing, made me feel all the emotions that I ever wanted to be. It's what does it do with food, right? The food aspect of it just like so. It's such an artistic way, such a philosophy way, and it's just such a strong story here. I felt like that really executed to caliber. Mm-hmm. This cast alone, which is beautifully done. I mean, this whole cast was casted great.
Fantastic.
But what did you think of this movie, Angela? What did you...
So I didn't quite know what this was about going on. You get a sense of, like, from the poster and, like, the title, the menu.
Yeah.
What it's going to be. It's just, like, exclusive, one night...
Yeah, bunch of rich folks getting together.
Super exclusive tasting of this food from this super famous chef who's Ralph Fiennes. And, things don't go according to plan, kind of. You get a sense of, like, what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But my gosh, I was blown away by, like, how much we get in this story. Like, it's so much more than that. And it's mind-blowing. It's crazy. I really loved the cast. I mean... Ralph Fiennes is just phenomenal. Amazing, phenomenal, great.
I mean, from Lord Voldemort to the Grand Budapest Hotel, running that hotel, how of a different character he is playing here, entirely of its own genre, and it really has this. He gives this look in the movie where he's just staring down, and I just love it because it's so beautifully done.
He's like, you could tell he's like his passion for the craft, has kind of made him a little insane.
It's made him obsessed. Great. It's very obsessive.
It's like quiet madness.
It's very obsessive. I like how they mentioned the Taco Tuesday. I love how they mentioned so many. We're gonna talk about spoilers, but I love how they mentioned so much of the nostalgia thing. It's like, oh, that's taco, which was weird because we never fell for that. I guess we never went into that realm of like Taco Tuesday. Not really per se.
I mean, every day is a good day for a taco.
Yeah, I know, every day. But we never just fell into that realm. And so knowing where the Hispanic, John Leguizamo is in here too as well. Ralph Fiennes is just phenomenal. Anna Taylor-Joy. I loved Anna Taylor-Joy. Yeah. Nicholas Hoult and Anna Taylor-Joy's chemistry, because they go together as a couple, and that's in the movie, or it's in the trailer. And so they go in as couples and they say like, oh, you can only reserve it by 2. And I'm just like, holy crap. Like this whole relationship, you're kind of like, what is it? Are they together? And then furthermore, you find out the whole situation there. You find out, and then Ralph Fiennes, he does a great job. He does a great job in this scene where he says, "I know a service person when I see one," and I like that because he gets to see that whole. It's like he sees into your soul almost, into where like, oh, like it's just that look.
It's his piercing eyes and his facial expressions, like you say. He just like looks into your soul. He's kind of like you're listening to the words of a deranged man.
The truth, yeah.
And I love it. And so I think he does a spectacular job playing the chef.
Yeah. On this remote island here,
Yeah, again, it's super exclusive, one night only. It kind of caters to the wealthy. And you see, it's not just like a story about the chef. You see also like each, I guess, couple that goes into this tasting, this and experience has their own like personal issue problems that they're going on in their life, and it's so funny to see that unravel
in a menu style
in the course of this night. And it's so funny because it has bits of like humor that are so funny. and so subtle. Like it could be like just like a smirk or like a comment, words that are shown on the screen to explain things. It's so funny, and so I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. To be honest, I wasn't sure how it was gonna be. Yeah. Loved the cast going in. I knew who was going to be there. Yeah. Was super excited for that. But this was so much more than I expected, and it's such a great film.
And you know, I've been seeing a lot of reviews and everything. A lot of people do not like the ending, and I get it. But at the same time, though, I have to explain why I love this part so much. Why I love the ending so much is because you have to understand the artwork. I kind of feel like you have to understand that Anna Taylor-Joy did what she did because she understood who the chef was. She understood who he was as a person.
His message. What he was trying to accomplish. Yeah. So they had that mutual understanding, and that's why what happened.
Not to say it was right what he did. Obviously, what he did was completely insanity. But it just to understand the art, you have to actually pay attention to the whole art piece, I would say. But this is definitely a film it's definitely gonna hit not everybody. I kind of feel like this is definitely an artistic film that we love, that we've always enjoyed. It's Searchlight. It's definitely a movie that it's gonna make you think. It's gonna make you like question their motives. It's gonna make you question, why are they all there? It's going to make you ask even more questions and most of the answers do get answered. They do. Obviously, it's just not the behind the scenes work, but for the most part, you kind of get a little background into the chef a little bit, and then I like it though because it doesn't make it go longer than what it should be.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It didn't drag.
It didn't drag at all for me.
I wouldn't have wanted it to be longer.
No,
but again, I agree with you. I wouldn't have cut anything from there to shorten it because I think it's a good runtime to me. It didn't drag. It wasn't boring. There weren't dull moments. It was all like you were at the edge of your seat trying to figure out what's going to happen, this plan, this menu, what's on this menu, and you literally spend the whole movie watching it pan out, and it is a roller coaster.
And you want to know something, a little hidden agenda here, Angela? You want to know something crazy? Is that the actual director of this film is actually the same director of Succession, which I got that because I got a little thrill there. The music, it felt so much Succession vibes, and I love it because it's almost the same message because they're rich people, corporate America.
But it's funny because it's something so simple and mundane as dinner, like a high level dinner, but it's so much more than that, and it's so like suspenseful and thrilling, and it's so much more. So I love that it's the same director from Succession because it just adds that extra like oomph. It brings that life to this special dinner event.
And it makes you feel like a thriller. It does. It in its own right. And even the music. I go back to the music. I love the way the music was. It wasn't like it was just just that whole instrumental feel. And I love that. Because that's what Succession does. They do such a well job when a thriller is happening, especially instead of playing like that thriller horror music element, he's playing the calm music. But like you're like calm and you're like freaked
nervous,
out.
You're like nervous, anxious. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You don't know. So
and this is also written by Will Tracy and Seth. And so this whole agenda is just so good. I love it. This whole idea is so well put out. I thought the cast and everything was great. I wouldn't take anything out of this. I really wouldn't. I enjoyed this film so much. Was this fun we deserved? I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I would say yes, just because it's such like an artistic film that I feel it has an overall message, an arcing message. Yeah. That as crazy as what happens in the films happens. Yeah. I like that they were pushing this message. And I feel like everyone's gonna take it their own way. Like you might think it's something different than I do. So I appreciate that, and I think it is something we deserve. Yeah. Because I always like artistic independent films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
definitely.
I really like
Same here.
the type of film it was, and again, I can't say enough good things about the cast. The cast was phenomenal.
I loved every single one of them, and especially John Leguizamo. He plays the most annoying character. He's really so does.
Obnoxious. It's
the
funny.
Plot itself was just so good. I thought that was a really good outtake here. Definitely going to make my top 10 of the top 10 of 2022 for sure. The films rating 1 out of 10. 10 being the highest. Angela, what do you give this rating?
An 8.5.
Dude, wow! I'm actually a lot higher than you.
What would you give it?
I'm actually a 9.6 right now.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm at a 9.6. The runtime for me was perfect. I felt like it wasn't too long nor too short. It ran its course, and I love how the plot stayed on point. I love the direction they were going through. I thought this film was very well directed in its own right, especially when they talked about the 5-course meal, especially when they talked about each meal and the personal idea of it. What inspired this dish? I love the stories.
What inspired?
I love the stories,
it wasn't
man.
Just the
it was
dishes.
clever. It was clever as F. It really was. I just loved it. I was just like, oh my god, this is so clever. Like I like this. The ideas that Ralph was giving in his whole, as a chef, it was done very well. And his outtake in it, his facial expressions were just outtake done beautifully. I'll say that. But yeah, would we recommend this movie? Obviously, guys, we do recommend this movie, guys, for all the moviegoers out there. If you haven't checked this out already, we were late to the party here, but be sure to check this out at a theater near you. Definitely gonna buy this film for sure. I know I am. I'm excited to see what behind the scenes stuff, at least behind the scenes stuff. Like I want to see more of like how the filming aspect worked and how like maybe see Ralph actually practicing playing that role. That would be pretty cool to see. But yeah. I'll definitely. All right, guys, if you have not already, like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela Kelly-Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Like, share, subscribe. Check you later, San Antonio.